What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Lay of Game Season 2, Wild Card Weekend. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Happy New Year.
Mark, say what up, Mark.
Happy New Year.
And Herman.
Happy New Year.
Like my co-host say, Happy New Year. Welcome to the next decade. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Help us get these likes up. What's so funny?
I just thought about the sports internet. Go ahead.
Follow us on Twitter. You know, this is your part, Brian.
Follow us on Twitter on @thelayupgame3.
Yeah, we got a lot of noise, y'all. What's going on? What y'all doing over there? Something going on. What y'all doing?
Technical difficulty. Start the show, Mark.
I started the show. We got right now.
Hold on. You got to offer somebody else too. You say more than just that, don't we?
I don't think we say more than that. That's all we
like,
say.
subscribe, share.
I did that already. Why don't you pay attention to the show?
All right, well, I'm listening. Make sure y'all did what Marcus said, since I ain't paying attention to the show.
See, now we all up. We look very unprofessional right now.
We've always been unprofessional. What do you call it? This is the what man's perspective?
The average man's perspective of football.
Average. It is an average show.
Average, right.
We average.
Right.
Also, your favorite show on YouTube. That's what we also call it.
We're trying to be that.
Yeah. So,
Mr. Parker, let's get it going.
That was my part. I do that.
Sorry.
I give it over to Mark, not you. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
You know, you got to keep Eddie Kane in check.
Mr. Parker, let's go.
What's happening? We're on the playoff weekend of the NFL. Real quick, we can go over just the end of the season, which was last week. The division was pretty much settled for last week. Couple of games. We didn't really get a chance to pick on the games, but what do you guys think about the end of the season, division winners?
It was funny because the NFL kind of had set it up so that these games are supposed to mean something. I think this year they didn't mean as much.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee was supposed to play Houston, but Tennessee was Houston was in, so they basically let Tennessee in. You know, they was like, we can't move up, we can't do anything, no position changes, so they rested their players. So I think this year may be the first year where it wasn't as significant.
Well, the only thing there were two of those games that were significant. One was the Patriots Dolphins game.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that knocked the Patriots out of the number 2 seed and put them down to have to play in Wild Card Weekend for the first time in God knows how long.
I think like 10 years.
The other one was the Seahawks 49ers game, which gave the 49ers the number 1 division and knocked the New Orleans down. Yeah. Yeah, and them. So I mean, and all these teams were like 12-3 at the time. So those two were important, and very.
Well, the Tennessee game was important for Pittsburgh too, because if Tennessee would lose that game, Pittsburgh had
Stop. Just
stop. Well, I mean, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
The Eagles game made a difference too.
No, it
if
didn't.
the Eagles
No,
would
it
lost,
didn't. None of those.
somebody
games
else
mattered.
would have been in.
Nah.
So it didn't matter.
So those games did matter, Marcus.
They didn't matter. If it
I mean,
was a win-in situation, not win and hope somebody else lose in.
It just wasn't as
situation.
many that were.
But I have to agree. If I have to get in that way, I really don't want to get in. I want to be able to win straight out.
I mean, didn't Pittsburgh lose to Baltimore without the MVP starting anyway? So
Yes, they did.
So I don't think it would really matter. But if you had told me at the beginning of the season that San Francisco playing in Week 17, and if they win, they were knocking the Saints out of the number 1 spot down to a wild card weekend spot, I'd have been like, you a lie. I'd have slapped you upside the head.
Did the Saints actually have the number 1 spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they would have gotten. I think
They would at least had a bye week, right?
they would have been number 1 or number 2. They definitely would have had a bye, and they wouldn't have been playing this week. So because of that loss, I know that dropped them down. Because of the Niners would have went down to like the number 5 spot. I think it was.
I thought Seattle and the Niners were split. I thought they were just split. I didn't think that. I thought when Green Bay won, that put them in the number 2. Because if I can't remember. I thought if Seattle had won, Green Bay actually would have gone to 1. I think.
Because remember, the Saints and San Francisco were both tied the same record, but the tiebreaker goes to the Saints because they won that game.
They lost that game, didn't they? They lost that game.
Okay, whoever won the game got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, because the Saints lost to San Francisco.
Yes.
But, okay, yeah.
So that's how that turned about.
See, we know about football. We know exactly what we're talking about. So, it was a lot of scenarios. There was a lot of scenarios, but
Anyway, it was a fantastic week as far as the ending is concerned. We had a couple of predictions for the conference um, champions and also a playoff. We will get into that real quick if we can. The NFC East, the division. Marcus, you remember who you had as far as winning that division?
I picked the Eagles, but I don't really feel good about that pick. I mean, they won,
But
but
you won it. They
I
won
mean,
it.
yeah, I don't know why you don't feel good about it.
because it was a BS. I mean, it was a
Somebody had
it was a lame duck. It was a lame. They're going to get eliminated right away. So it was a lame
somebody
duck.
had
pick.
to win the division. I mean,
And
Yeah,
you were right. You were in the fifth Beatle.
I was barely right.
You was right. I chose the Cowboys along with these two. They took the Cowboys too.
I believe I abstained.
I don't think you did.
He took the Cowboys. In the NFC West, Herman, you remember who you had in the NFC West?
Yeah, I picked Seattle. I mean, I was close. I came down to the last game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody picked San Francisco.
No. None of us did.
But none of us really believed in Garoppolo, and none of us had an idea of how good their defense was.
That was the key. We didn't feel enough confident in Garoppolo whether he was going to play for the whole season for one, not less dominate or do as well. I think the rest of us chose the Rams, didn't we? Yeah,
Everybody
chose
chose the Rams.
the Rams.
That's a big disappointment of the season. That's one of the biggest.
Yes. The NFC South. Brian, you remember who you had in that one?
I picked the Saints.
That's correct. Herman chose the Atlanta Falcons. Me and you, Marcus, we took the Saints. And Fifth Beatle, Maury, he took the Buccaneers.
Okay, so Herman should have to wear the hat. He lone wolfed it.
Well, no,
He lone.
you can't low whoop a whole season now.
Well, I don't see why not. He lone wolfed that bad boy. He should be.
The NFC North, I'll go with this one. I actually chose the Green Bay Packers, and they won it. I took the Packers.
I don't think we clowned you about it too.
Yeah, you did.
I think we joked at you about it.
Herman, do you remember who you took?
Yeah, I took the Vikings. I was close again.
You were close. And then you took the Vikings
I
also.
did.
Marcus and Maury ran it out with the Bears.
The Bears.
The worst.
Now a wild card pick.
Ooh, y'all should have to wear the dunce hat just because you picked the Bears.
Yeah,
That was
you should pick them again next year.
Our wild card picks. Brian, who did you have in the wild card?
I had Philadelphia and the Packers, so I had half right. Philly is in the wild card,
No, they're not. Philly won the division.
but they're still in the wild
But
card.
they're wild card.
They're playing
No,
in the
but
wild
you were
card.
picking the wild card team. You did not get that right. What?
The wild
If
card.
that's the case, then I got it right too. New Orleans is the wild card team. That's not how that works.
Damn, Gina.
Herman, who you had?
I had the Rams in New Orleans. So according to Brian, I picked one right.
I had
I'll
Philly,
give you that credit, Herman.
I had Philly and Seattle in it. Believe it or not, so I actually did have it right as far.
No,
don't.
you didn't.
Yeah.
Herman, you did.
I didn't pick the division winner. I took the Cowboys.
It don't matter, but the wild card teams are the two teams in the playoffs who did not
5 and 6. 5 and 6.
right, which did not win the division.
Marcus,
So
who did you
not
take,
get it
Marcus?
right.
Do you remember?
I believe it was the Cowboys and the Packers.
No, it was Atlanta and the Cowboys. You took
I
Atlanta
did?
and the Cowboys.
Atlanta and the Cowboys. I didn't pick the Packers to make the
I
playoffs at
need
all.
for you to do your research.
I need you to write
Before
your
the
stuff
show,
down. Put it
okay?
in the spreadsheet, man.
And then our fifth Beatle took Atlanta and the Saints. And now
Let's talk about Atlanta for a minute.
Why did I even pick Atlanta? I don't understand because they were sorry last year.
Because they're, when you look at on paper, how can they not lose? How can they lose so much? How can they not win with that offense? With those, I mean, you know, they were talking on the NFL Network today about how Julio Jones didn't make the top 100 receivers in that thing that they do, and they were just showing some highlights. And I mean, this dude just making these miraculous catches. I mean, he's just phenomenal. A, I don't know how he made that, but B, with Julio and with Matt Ryan, the running back was coming back from injury. I mean,
they had drafted two offensive linemen, so they reassured.
they reassured the
And
line.
plus, last year they was hobbled by a lot of injuries. That's what got them
Right.
pretty much in
So
trouble.
you thought that they were going to have
Yeah.
a better year.
And so it was a good pick. It was, to be honest with you, Atlanta was.
And I mean, they can't.
How is it a good pick? They were sorry this season.
But I mean that you would think that they'd be back in the mix.
Okay.
think they won their last like 5 out of 7. I mean, they saved their coach's job.
They sure did.
They
'Cause
sure
he's
did.
staying.
Yeah,
He's staying.
they played hard.
And he was like going to be one of the first ones fired,
Yes.
like near the middle of the season.
Yeah, yes, they definitely saved his job because they played hard the remainder of the games when they knew they didn't have anything to play for. So we're moving on to the AFC. No brainer here. AFC East.
Patriots.
Patriots. Everybody
Hated it.
AFC West. There was another no brainer there.
Chiefs.
Everybody took the Chiefs. We knew that. That's what happened. AFC South. Brian, who did you take in that one?
The South, I had the Houston Texans. Ding, 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 ding.
Which was right. Marcus,
I had the Houston Texans as well.
you're right, Marcus.
Don't ding, though, when you do.
Herman.
Why can't ding?
The Titans.
Yeah.
Which was getting close.
Yeah,
It
Titans
was.
close again. Titans came on. They made the playoff.
And y'all could make me wear the dunce hats for this one, but I ain't wearing it though. I took Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Oh, yeah, and if y'all get a chance, go back and listen to Mark's review. How I think Jacksonville, they got what's his name?
Foles.
Nick Foles, and Nick Foles is going to bring that magic.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Oh,
So wrong. So wrong.
AFC North. I chose the Steelers, of course. They did. Herman, remember who you had?
I picked the Ravens.
Good.
Picked that one right.
Fifth Beatle took the Ravens also. Marcus, who did you have?
I think my dumb self picked the Browns. Am I right?
Did you really?
Yeah.
yeah, Marcus was drinking that Kool-Aid, baby.
I was drinking that brown Kool-Aid real hard.
Yeah, you were.
You
Yeah.
dirt.
I feel so bad now.
You and Freddie Kitchens.
Another wild card. I feel
Yeah.
so bad.
And then I did say the Fifth Beatle. He took the Ravens also. Me and Brian took the Steelers, of course.
I was forced to take the Steelers. Mark gave me $5 to pick the Steelers,
no, he was not, of course.
but I wanted to pick the Ravens.
And taking the Steelers. So then, wild card. Brian, who'd you have in your wild card?
I had the Bills and the Ravens, so I had one right.
Right.
Marcus, who did you have?
I ain't be honest with you, I forgot. I forgot to look it up. I forgot we was doing that today, so I forgot.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore is who you had.
Okay.
Are you talking about? Is he the producer? No. What the show cost?
I forgot we was doing that.
Okay.
You totally slipped past me. We had to.
Herman, who'd you have?
I had the Chargers and the Browns.
Wow. None of that right.
Wow, you picked the Browns to win the division.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you wowed my pick.
I had Baltimore and the Chargers in it. So, Chargers was a big letdown for me this year. And, I don't know what to think. Then we also did an outrageous pick. You guys remember that one?
Wait, what about the Super Bowl?
We picked the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we
did.
picked the
did
Super
do
Bowl.
Yeah, we did. Well, I know my team ain't going, so I'm out. Who'd you have, Marcus, in Super Bowl?
Who I have? I definitely had the Patriots. I think.
And
I'm trying to remember. And the Rams? No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
you had the Saints.
I had the Saints.
You had the Saints.
They actually still in there.
That's a good pick. That's still a good pick.
Well, I had Cowboys and the Chiefs, but I had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Brian,
I had the same thing he had.
I had Pittsburgh and the Saints, so
Oh,
Pittsburgh's out, but Saints still could get in there. And then the last thing, the outrageous pick. This was the. I mean,
They weren't really that outrageous for the
no, they
record.
really wasn't.
Herman did get outrageous. The rest of us wasn't so.
What was it? Cowboys.
No.
What was Herman?
I picked the Browns to win the Super Bowl or something, right? Didn't I?
How you gonna pick the Browns? You just say you picked the Chiefs and the Cowboys to beat the
No,
Super
but
Bowl.
it was like
It was an outrageous.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
like
an
an
outrageous
outrageous
pick.
prediction, and I said something about the Browns winning the Super
No.
Bowl. or something, right?
It was the Cardinals.
That's right.
Was it the
That's
Cardinals?
right.
The
It was the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Because
That's right.
Herman picked the Cardinals to win Super Bowl. I picked the Cardinals to go 0-16.
Yeah, that's true. And then I picked,
Marcus's was, I think, the Browns.
yes, he did pick the Browns. I picked that Le'Veon Bell wasn't going to make it the full season.
And he
Well,
did.
He did.
He
So
did. He didn't make any kind of impact though.
The best one of all was the fifth Beatle, Maury. His outrageous pick was that the Redskins was going to win the division.
So close.
Win the division, y'all.
Hey, it was possible. We were in it for.
Really? Was it? I don't think it was.
We had a chance for hot second.
I mean, we can review the whole season and go back to the Redskins wins and
I mean,
losses.
I think for a while we were in it for a hot second.
45.
Like week 1. I think that was it.
Early fall.
He said we-
like 12:59 week 1 we were in it.
You got a lot of stuff happening as far as coaches in the NFL.
Oh, and before we proceed any further with the coaches and stuff, we all need to give Herman a round of applause.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Applause.
No, we don't. Block this spot out. Block this spot out. Block this spot out. Block this spot out.
Herman knocked out Marcus in the championship after Marcus led the league for the whole year with wins to be another Bryce.
And what seed was Herman?
Herman was the fourth seed.
Okay. And Marcus was the what seed? Number 1 seed?
I'm sorry. Where were you at, Mark?
It doesn't matter. I was.
Hey, just for the record, if had I won that playoff was in the Super Bowl, I would have won too. I would have beat all of y'all.
No, you wouldn't.
I had the most score. I scored the most that week.
Brian, I think anybody would beat Marcus.
This is not scheduled programming, okay?
It wasn't, but
this is
you
not.
know, we just want to give Herman his due. You know?
That was so last week. Nobody cared about that no more.
Well, you know.
We moved on.
We wasn't here
Well,
last
it's
week.
the delayed game, championship game, so we want to let the fans
And we
know
wasn't here last week.
that Marcus lost in the championship game again.
Hey, at least I was there. Where was y'all at? On the couch.
Man, you sound like the Bills.
I made it Super Bowl.
We win 4 times, yeah, but you lost 4 times.
I'm a Hall of Fame fantasy football player, okay?
How many people remember the number 2 team?
Everybody remembers the Bills won the Super Bowl 4 times in a row.
I beat him by less than a point.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was a good
No,
game.
you didn't. You made by less than a point.
Yeah, it was less
Wait a minute. So wait, you still had? Didn't you had somebody to play on Monday night?
Yeah,
than. He
but
didn't do hardly anything.
yeah, he didn't do crap.
He literally did nothing.
God dang, I lost by less than a freaking point.
Yeah, makes it even worse.
It's like losing by a field goal. 1 point.
That's when you just like retire. You said, man, this is.
No, that's not retired. And I beat. First of all, I'm doing the
You beat
season.
me like I think 2 or 3 times.
During the season, I was 6-0 against all 3 of y'all. Okay.
Yeah, but nobody cares about your regular season,
We're
Marcus.
talking about regular season, man. We're talking about regular season.
Hey, you got to win the regular season to get to the playoffs.
That would be me.
That's my song. I'm gonna play my song. We playing my song.
And we do not condone or have copyright infringement, so we're playing music.
All right, we get into some coaching news here as far as the NFL. There was a couple of coaches that were fired. at the end
Well,
of the
more than a
season.
couple.
Redskins being one.
4 were fired.
Cleveland's coach was dismissed,
And their GM.
and the GM. The Giants coach
Pat Shermer.
Pat Sherman was let go, and Carolina's Ron Rivera, who bounced back pretty good. We won't get into that. What you guys think about the firing?
I think Sherman might have been the most surprising. Maybe he was just 2 years in.
Yeah, but he was like 9-23.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't deserve it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like the Giants.
Okay, we said the Giants. We're talking about.
Yeah, he was.
We're talking about the Giants.
We
You
just
wanna
got one
talk
dude.
about
We only doing one dude up there right now. Okay.
Okay, so we're doing Cleveland. Is that what you want to do?
No, we can talk about the Giants. Well, we just not going to show him. This is an overall general. This is an overall general. Okay, I'm producing. You just talk. Okay.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah, his record definitely called for it, I guess.
yeah.
Since they have a young quarterback, young running back, now's the time. If you're not sold on what he's doing, but I don't think there was no rumblings really. It was just a little bit of rumbling, but it kind of came out like me.
Yeah. I mean, when you sat back and thought about it, then it was.
Yeah, when you analyze.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't doing that well. I mean, and I think he had a terrible record in the NFC East.
Yeah, like we
Yeah, a terrible record period, didn't
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you especially want to at least have some caps in your hat. That you won some your division games. So.
And in Carolina, Ron Rivera got let go.
that one was probably the biggest surprise to me.
Well, I
Middle
think
of the season.
yeah. Well, it was like near. I think it was like the 11th or 12th. It was close, yeah, to the middle. So I think that just like with most coaches who've been tenured for a long period of time, just their rhetoric and what they're saying just kind of falls on deaf ears over time. And I think they just wanted a refresher, wanted a change. Um, it was a hard season for them. They lost their quarterback the first game of the season. Had to rely on backups and rookies, and
The Panthers did?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause they lost
Cam,
Cam.
Cam,
He got
yeah,
hurt in the preseason.
Oh wow.
I think he originally got hurt in the preseason.
Hey, man, Cam played some games though, right? He played like 4 games, didn't he?
I don't even
I
know
don't
if
think he played that
four.
many.
Huh.
Yeah, his foot was messed up before the season started.
Yeah,
Our other producer over here has some facts. But yeah, his foot was because he got hurt in the preseason game.
yeah,
True.
And so
because he was coming off the
And
shoulder.
then they were saying right, and then they were saying, well, he's okay, it wasn't a big deal. Then all of a sudden he showed up in walking boots, and then next thing you know,
Oh, he's out for the season.
Yeah, I think the Carolina job was surprising to me
I
too.
thought it was surprising, especially because it was the middle of close to during the season. Again. That's what surprised me.
And then, of course, the Browns. I read an article that was funny to me that their assistant coordinator would talk to opposing teams and tell them how bad the Cleveland Browns organization was, how they would practice all week long on one particular plays. Then when it came game time, they would run something else. I just thought they're just dysfunctional all the way around. I just thought that was a funny thing to hear coming out of that camp.
Wait a minute, Cam, he played 2 games this season.
Okay,
2 games.
Yes.
and he probably didn't play most of the second game. So whatever.
Yeah, I think after the second game is when he showed up that he was in the walking boots. It was more of a problem that they had originally said. But yeah, the Freddie Kitchens firing.
I saw
They
that.
should have never hired him. In
Yeah,
the
he
first
should-
Yeah,
never been hired.
yeah, he should have never been. That was the dumbest move ever in I think in history of football.
And then well, I think what sealed his coffin was the shirt. The
Oh,
Steelers
yeah.
shirt
Oh,
fiasco.
yeah.
I think that's what put the nail in the coffin.
Absolutely.
You know.
But you know what's
And hold up, didn't they lose to Cincinnati last game of the season?
Yes.
they did.
Yeah,
Yes, they
yeah,
did.
yeah. You can't do that.
I think that if Cleveland had kept Greg Williams and let Kitchen stay the offensive coordinator,
I think they would have been much
totally
better
different
off.
season this year.
I
think they would
agree.
have actually been
I
in
agree.
contention.
I mean, in less than a year, he went from a positional coach to an offensive coordinator to a head coach,
And
which
that
is
was the
unheard
whole
of.
thing.
Yeah.
He moved up rapidly up the chain real fast without really putting in the time. I thought that was weird for him, but yeah, you absolutely right about that. He moved from that big a jump. That was a big difference.
This was just a typical Browns move. This is why the Browns just.
And what is this going to do to Baker Mayfield? Now this is going to be his third offensive coordinator.
Well, but it's the same. It's the same offense. Well, it was. Those offenses were the same, right? Because Kitchens was his QB coach. So when Kitchens took over as OC,
And that was the main thing. They kept it all.
They
year.
tried to
kept
keep the same
in
continuity.
offense. So now this would be his
Second.
second offense. So whoever comes in. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield. If I was a head coach going in to take this job, I would have I'd have reservations about him.
They did this thing on ESPN. They did a comparison with him and Minshew, and they were almost identical.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, their college things, their stats, their winning percentage in the NFL, all these things they did, and it's like almost the same. But you don't hear nothing about Minshew. But because Baker was the number one pick in the NFL draft, that's why you hear so much hype about him. But they're basically like, yeah, they're basically almost the same person.
See, so as a head coach going into Cleveland, I would have reservations about him.
I would have severe reservations.
Because
I wouldn't. I still believe he can be a quality quarterback. He just needs to get his attitude right and get the right coaching staff around him. I think he'll be
That's
okay.
my issue is that he has so much against him. I mean, he's not the tallest quarterback. His arm isn't the strongest. So why you think that you're all this and you have all this attitude, you talk all this stuff?
Yeah, that's a
It
problem.
just yeah.
And
You
the
need
joke
them.
is he done made too many more commercials than he's done thrown touchdowns.
Touchdown.
I mean, he's immature.
You do?
I actually like those commercials.
You do?
They're kind of stupid. I thought the concept of the commercial is fun.
Yeah, it's
They
good.
could
As,
put
I don't know.
anybody in there. Actually,
Yeah.
the concept of the commercial is fun. Especially when he calls him trying to get the toilet safe.
Yeah, which one? That one is kind of funny. That one is kind of
I
funny.
don't know. As a head coach, man, when you go in to an organization, you become the head coach. You're married to your quarterback, like,
Oh yeah.
and I wouldn't want to be married to him.
even if you're a defensive minded coach, you think you're married to your quarterback?
You're still married to that quarterback.
You can ask God, what is his name? He's on ESPN now. He used to coach the Bills. He used to coach the Jets.
Rex Ryan
Rex Ryan. Him and
on the butt fumble dude,
Butt Fumble.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
True.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're the defensive-minded coach, you can't say, "Well, I'm a defensive-minded coach." You're married to that quarterback.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's things that you have to talk to that quarterback about. Y'all have to have a relationship. Y'all may not sit in all your meetings together.
It is definitely a marriage.
But it's a marriage.
It's a marriage. You have to be able to navigate that whole thing together.
That's
If not,
yeah,
where the coach goes, where the quarterback goes, that's where the coach is going.
yeah, that's a scary marriage. If I'm looking at Cleveland.
I don't think it's that scary. I don't think it's that scary. I think, like I said, I
they
think
were going to win the Super Bowl. So
So we're getting on that. There's some coaches that are in the talking. Mike McCarthy is one. Let's just talk about this one real quickly. Carolina fires Ron Rivera, but the Washington Redskins pick him up. Some people trash and some people treasure. He's coming along with Jack Del Rio as the defensive coordinator. What you guys think about that? Marcus?
I mean, I'm not overly excited. To me, Rivera, whatever his name is, he's just a
Riverboat Ron, man, come on.
Riverboat Ron.
he's not a bad coach. I do believe he'll improve the team, but I just don't see him as some, genius coach who's going to come in there and just win games. Sure, eventually we might win, the division or something like that. Who knows how it turns out. Plus, I can't get that excited about the Redskins anyway. I mean, every year it's always something. I don't know how many coaches we've changed, so I'm beyond getting excited about coaching, about coaching changes.
Can I ask you, are you excited that you got rid of your GM?
I am excited about that. That part I'm very excited about.
Most Redskins fans were elated about that when they heard that.
Yes, I'm very happy to get rid of Bruce Allen. I think he's garbage. I think he held down the team for years, and I'm glad he's out of there. But
You really think it was all Bruce?
I think it had a lot to do with it. I mean, mainly it's Snyder. That's who it's mainly on. But a lot of it was Bruce was a yes man. Let Dan Snyder do pretty much anything he wanted. And so now that he's out of there, maybe they're changing. I got to feel like maybe they're changing the culture a little bit. And then, huh?
Culture. Wasn't that Bruce's thing? The culture.
Yeah, well, his culture. His culture was sorry. His culture was sorry. So I'm glad he's gone. But like I said, I mean, I'm not disappointed. Like I said, I'm on a wait and see basis. We'll see what happens, see what kind of moves he make, see what kind of players he drafts and free agents he signs, and we'll just see. As a Redskins fan, this is the attitude you have to take these days. You can't get excited about new coaches.
You guys got the number 2 draft choice coming up in this year's draft too. That's a chance to get some talent, possibly Chase Young.
Yeah.
From Ohio State.
He said he might go back
So
to school. No, I'm serious. He was saying he didn't want to play with the Redskins. He might go back to school.
He didn't say he didn't want to play. He said you didn't want to play the Redskins. Oh, he said he was going back to school. You throwing extra stuff in there, Herman.
He said he didn't want to play with the Redskins. I'm not throwing that in there.
Oh,
our other producer who follows college football
Who was the other producer?
has been giving me some inside information.
I'm the only producer on this show. Okay.
We have some other producers here that give information too.
that's our status.
That's the research people. They're not producers. They're research people. Okay. Get the title right.
You was a producer and you would have had that information. It's your team too, so you should know that. Anyway.
Then a couple of names that are on track as far as interviewing. Mike McCarthy, Eric Bieniemy is another hot name. They're gonna be looking at. What you guys think about that?
I definitely don't want him going to Cleveland. I want him going someplace where he got a chance to win. I want good things for.
I see him in Carolina.
I'm gonna tell you one
see him in
thing
Carolina.
is Josh McDaniels will be a head coach next year.
You think so?
He absolutely, because he has his name is in everybody's mouth.
They talking about him for the Cowboys
Yeah,
position.
they talking about him for the Cowboys, talking about him for the Giants, talking about him for the Panthers.
But if you're if you're an organization, I have some cold feet about messing with Josh McDaniels, what he did to the Colts last year.
Well, it was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Two years ago, yeah.
So I mean, and again, McDaniels didn't do anything when he was the head coach. He had a bad record.
He
I'm not
had
impressed.
what's the name?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, and they beat the
He
Steelers.
drafted him though.
and they beat the Steelers
But he
in a
drafted.
playoff game.
Yeah, but still,
But they beat the
that
Steelers.
was all they did.
The Steelers,
Shut
Herbert.
up.
Still though, I mean, I'm McDaniel's. I think his ego. Maybe now.
I mean, kind of, but yeah, I think his ego was definitely out of control when
His
he was
ego's out of
younger.
control,
I
yeah.
thought he because didn't he coach college too? Yeah,
No,
he
no,
ended
no.
up coaching college and washed out too. So
Three coach. Let's see who can
well,
look
it
it up
wasn't
faster. Go
not
producers, go.
not USC,
Oh,
Michigan,
too late, Marcus.
Michigan State. Okay,
He was assistant there at Michigan State.
so I don't know. I think he's grown. I think he has the chops right
But see,
now.
the thing with McDaniels is, I always felt like
I would.
I wouldn't be.
I always felt like he was holding out for the New England position.
Especially the Cowboys because of him watching Belichick run the Patriots. I
But he
think
didn't do that in Denver.
no, he didn't.
But he got more years now under Belichick.
Yeah, he got way more years, and I think he's more humble about
I
it.
think because he was young, he had, like you said, he had a more of an ego that was intact more so in Denver than anything else. So I think it will help him now that he's much more.
Yeah, because it's nothing else but ego that would encourage you to draft Tim Tebow and think you can actually.
This is the thing, though, about that. While Bill Belichick runs a great organization up there in New England, you can't bring that to the Cowboys because of Jerry Jones. So Josh McDaniels is just going to be another head coach.
I mean,
For
more
the
of the
Cowboys.
day-to-day processes,
Game situation stuff.
things.
I
Yeah,
could probably
I
agree
mean
with
more
that.
football coaching stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
think he'll do a good.
yeah, but personnel wise, he's gonna be like a Parcells did when Parcells will get you all ready for that stuff, and then you got Jerry who's gonna throw in a player that you don't want, somebody that you didn't
Well,
necessarily sign.
I don't know about that much because now Will McClay and they all have a collaboration when that comes to Jerry.
They do,
Although
but
it
not
has,
with free agent,
huh?
not necessarily with free agent.
Yeah,
College, yeah.
and even with free agents, Steven has a big hand in that. So Jerry, although does make the final decision, he listens to all the other coaches and people in charge. So I wouldn't be too
Now, since
concerned.
we're on the Cowboys, what's the situation with their coaching situation?
Nobody
Is
knows.
Jason Garrett out the door? Is he in the front office? What's going to be the deal with him?
I think I think that Jerry's off in the front office. Should be trying to figure out where.
I agree.
I can't see Jerry going into next year with Jason Garrett as the head coach. We've seen 10 years of Jason Garrett. He's smart. He knows football. He is not a coach. He's just not a
Now
head
he
coach.
finds the coach. So he
Uh, devil's advocate. Now, this is a reasons why Jerry might keep Jason Garrett as the head coach for next season. They still have the same talent they had this year. They had number one offense in the league.
By yards.
Yeah, I mean, and the last game. Well, I mean, it was the Redskins. I mean,
how is he
they
winning?
blew them out. I mean, so they did manage to beat the Rams. They haven't beat a lot of people to win a record, but there was. I feel like,
Top 10 quarterback.
huh?
They got a top 10 quarterback.
Top five actually. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to probably what's the top five running back too?
Yeah, he was third or fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you probably breaking Amari Cooper back next year. What's his name? Michael Gallup. He looks like he's gonna be he was a star this year. He's like he's gonna be only improve next year. A lot of things.
2,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, 2,000 wide receivers. I mean, so maybe that's why Jerry was like, hey, we still got it there. Maybe this next year will be different.
But see, that's all the more reason why you need to throw in, you need to change it because you have the talent, no question about that. So you're not even rebuilding the talent; you're just learning a new system, and you can't waste this talent enough. First of all, you can't hire him for one. You can't do a 1-year contract because then he can't get any assistance. Nobody comes to a defunct head coach, so you got
That's
to
true.
give him a 2 or 3-year contract. So are you really willing to possibly waste 3 more years of the same thing? He has no choice but to move. I think that's where he is.
So you see him in the front office.
Yeah, I think you put him in the front office because Jason Garrett is smart. He's a smart guy. He can evaluate talent. He knows what kind of culture we need because he always talked about the right type of guy. Those are the things that you want to hear your GM start to talk about. You know what I mean? But when it comes to situational football, you can see that the Cowboys in situations weren't prepared for things. You can see that the in-game decisions just weren't good, and that's okay because he had 10 years of this on the job training is what he was doing. You know what I mean? He was a coordinator for how many years? A couple years, I think. He
Couple
was a
years,
coordinator
yeah.
for the Giants for a couple years, but just some people aren't made to be head coaches. We've seen it. We've seen great offensive and defensive coordinators become head coaches and have terrible head coaching stints, and then they go back to being a coordinator and they're great again. Wade Phillips, Josh McDaniels. I think he's in that category.
So for the two Cowboy fans on the panel, who would y'all like to see as the next head coach?
I'd like to see Greg Roman or Wink Martindale from the Ravens. I want somebody.
I mean, are we talking fantasy or are we talking realistic?
Realistic. I like Herman's pick. Greg. I think Greg. I'm surprised Greg. Well, not many people got fired, so I guess Greg Roman, and he's still in the playoffs. So
In the playoffs.
Yeah,
He's
still in the
interviewing,
playoffs.
he's interviewing with I think he's interviewing with the.
can you interview before you out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this week. They got until Sunday.
Who's interviewing him? Because he should be hot. He should be like red hot.
And I can't remember who it was. I'm right there. I think the Panthers may be interviewing him too. The Giants, I think, asked for.
I wouldn't be surprised
They
if all
said
three
the
of them.
Giants
to be honest
asked for permission to interview a lot of people. So I think he might be on that.
But see, I think Greg Roman should go to Houston. I think he would be a good fit in Houston.
Houston what?
They ain't fired the
with you.
coach.
Future job is not available right
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He should be out. I want him out.
Bill
he should be out.
now. Intact right now. So
He's-
he's gone away.
He should be out.
Greg Roman's going to be a head coach.
Greg Roman is up. He's pretty high on a lot of teams' radar as far as being a coach. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him getting a job soon too.
Yeah, I would. But those, I mean, I would like to see, and my logic behind it is Greg Roman brings a great offense, run heavy offense, and not just, and he's going to get Dak to run too, but run heavy offense. We have two good running backs. And not to mention that he would probably bring someone from the Ravens defensive staff because they're familiar with him and they have a good defense. So for me, Greg Roman would probably be my top pick for Dallas. And in all honesty, as much as I'm against college coaches, I'd rather see a college coach come before I'd see Josh McDaniels.
What about you, bro?
I mean, I'll stick with Jason.
What?
I'll stick with
Stick
Jason.
with Jay.
Really?
Give me Nick Saban. Can I get Nick Saban?
Why would you want Nick Saban? He didn't do nothing in Baltimore.
What? Nick Saban.
He didn't do anything in Baltimore. I mean, he didn't do anything in Miami.
Alabama.
He
What are
didn't
you
do.
talking about? Baltimore.
I'm in Miami. He didn't do.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Because
remember the name Mullins? Dan Mullins. I read something about Dan Mullins being a possible dark horse.
That's a college coach. He's
everybody
with
keeps
he's
talking
with
about
Florida.
Matt-
He's
Matt
with Florida.
Rule, too. Everybody's thinking how Matt Rules is
Baylor's,
hot.
coach.
Yeah, because he declined to interview with Cleveland.
Yeah, do you blame him? You
No.
probably don't want him.
No, no.
What's his name?
I mean, yeah.
That would be the worst job for a college coach.
If I'm a college coach and this is my first professional job, there's no way I'm doing Cleveland. No way.
Dan Mullins was Dak's college coach in Mississippi State. So
And
that's
another coach they pulled out of the retirement for Miami for the offensive coordinator was Chan Gailey.
I ain't heard that name in forever.
Yes. He was very successful with Pittsburgh as their
He was not very successful with
Yes, he
Dallas.
was.
With Dallas,
Okay. He was
head
at
coach.
Dallas coach,
terrible with Dallas.
but he also worked.
He was a head coach in Dallas at one
He
time, right?
was.
Yeah.
He was. He was terrible.
He also worked with
Terrible.
Fitzmagic when he was in Buffalo, and they did a pretty good job there. So
No, they,
I think that's a good move for him.
they didn't make the
I don't know if it's a good move because I feel like he's been out of the league for
Uh-huh.
2 years.
Compared to what they had,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's some brighter minds.
Yeah, there could have been brighter minds. I agree with that. Like I want to know what is the connection with Miami's head coach and Chan Gailey. Like usually head coaches, they pick somebody they're familiar with, they've worked with. What is that connection?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. Oh, I saw a stat.
Why would you ask the other producer what the connection is? Since we doing stuff.
He's a college expert.
Well, we asked the main producer. He doesn't know.
But Fitzpatrick has beaten the Patriots with every other team in the division.
Really?
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
He beat him with the Jets.
Yep.
He was with Buffalo. He was with Buffalo too.
Yeah, he was with Buffalo. That's where he was with Chad
That's
Gailey.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is
I
crazy.
saw it on
That's a great
yeah,
stat.
it was. I was like, wow, that's really good.
Talking about quarterbacks, this is the last topic we're gonna get into before we start predicting for the next game. The Bears. The Bears are committing to Mitchell Trubisky. What's your take on that one?
I think it's awesome.
Why? I want to know why.
Apparently, the head coach, sees something in this guy.
Matt Nagy.
Didn't we say the coach is going with a quarterback? Okay, as far as this quarterback goes, that's what Matt Nagy is going.
This is it.
Yeah, you right. If
This
he don't
year,
do it,
next year?
if he don't do it next year, Matt's
That's
gone.
it. He's gone.
Yeah.
He is fired. And the GM might be too. 'cause the
Whoa,
GM came
what do
out
you
and
mean
said-
by this is it? Like, what does he have to do?
I would think that at least
They
he
need
got to
to
win.
win.
You at least got to win at least a playoff game. At least.
Okay, so these got to make the
At
playoffs.
least.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not saying Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not
I'm not even
saying-
saying
Yeah.
playoffs.
I say
They-
playoffs.
they-
They got to make a play. They got to win playoffs.
Maybe miss a wild, like right there, maybe close to the wild card.
Now,
You
hold up.
gotta
Now,
have
they
winning
won.
record.
Didn't they win the division last year?
They were in the playoffs last year.
But then they win the division.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah.
Now it's okay to just maybe make the wild
After
card.
this year,
No, that's what I said. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
After this year?
No.
I mean, look at
So
your
how far
division.
you say
I
you
think you definitely need to be in the. If you make the playoffs, I think you need to be in the mix. Definitely, you need to be in the mix. I think you maybe need to win a playoff game or two.
This Trubisky's, this will be his third year.
Third year.
Oh yeah, well,
So he got one more year. He got 2 more years of rookie contract, right?
right. So
Yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Like he might not necessarily. Let's say they're in contention, they don't make the playoffs, but he's shown major improvement.
What's improvement?
So ho, we talking about the quarterback or the coach now?
You talking
We're talking about the quarterback because
Okay, because I thought that we were talking. You were saying that the coach was going to get fired.
if they don't
if they don't
if
do.
Trubisky stinks it up again,
Yeah.
he will.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. I was debating the coach now. So go back on the quarterback.
Well, what I'm saying they're married together. So how Trubisky
So you're saying the
goes-
coach and the quarterback would be?
Yeah. How
Oh.
Trubisky goes is going to be what happens next.
Gotcha.
So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that the pressure is that Trubisky has to get them to the playoffs, but he has to show marked improvement, like a lot of improvement.
I mean, but how is that improvement when you were number one? You were the top of your division.
Because your defense got you there. It wasn't on Trubisky.
So the defense gets a pass.
Huh?
The defense gets a pass.
Yeah, I think they had injuries this year. And the defense gets a pass if your
Quarterback turning the
is
ball
always
over.
turning the ball over. Yeah,
I mean,
Lord, if you expect me to defend the 20-yard line every time.
I mean, here's about how are they going to win how are they going to make the playoffs? And he's probably the worst quarterback in the division.
That's
I mean,
he
so
did
I mean,
have a good game at the end of the year.
yeah.
He was just too inconsistent.
But you got the Packers, you got the Vikings, and you
That's
got
what I'm saying. But they can make a wild card. That's why I'm saying that the pressure is not to say, hey, you have to win.
I'm just saying they had the Packers and they had the Vikings last year and they did it.
Defense won.
So
no, that is true. That's a good point.
I'm saying playoff. You got to at least give me a playoff.
You ain't got to be so with me like that, bro.
Trubisky was 21st.
yeah, he's garbage.
He's terrible.
He's a waste, but hey, good luck.
And you know what's crazy? I think I think he still was above Tom Brady this year, or around that same area.
Brady was in the
No,
team.
Brady was 7. Now their passer ratings were close. Their I'm sorry. Yeah, their passer ratings were close. I think Brady had like an 88 and Trubisky had an 83.
Now, while we talk about quarterbacks, what about your boy? 30 for 30.
30. He ended the season in no better way for him to throw a pick 6. That was like
Six
classic.
to
lose
end
the
the
game with a
season.
pick
No,
six.
like you said, to end
In
his
the
season.
that was awesome.
And they kept saying it was like prop bets. Could he do it? You know, what are the chances that he could throw? Because nobody's ever done it.
Nobody ever
Hey, you
threw
did it,
30
buddy.
touchdowns
Congratulations.
and
We're proud
30
of you.
picks in a season. That is great.
And
I
then
be-
have the nerve to say, "Well, all I got to do is fix the picks, and I'm
He said that I'm the great. I'm great. Or I'm one of the
yeah,
greatest.
yeah, I'm one of the
he
greatest."
was the number one passer in the league this year.
He was.
He was yardage.
I think he led the touchdown. No,
He didn't make a touchdown. But he could very.
Y'all think he'll be in Tampa? I think he'll be in Tampa Bay again next season.
yeah.
Man, they're stupid.
I say yeah. I think yeah too.
You know why? Because the coach, they asked him, and he said something to the fact. Basically, he feels he could put anybody at quarterback and be successful
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
because he says the defense is going to be better. So he feels confident he can make any, and he has been a quarterback whisperer in his defense
Yeah.
in his career. So
Bruce Arians.
Can't coach stupid.
you can't.
Must have done some of the dumbest stuff
I mean,
that you've ever seen in football.
but then he makes some of the prettiest passes
Oh, he
you've ever
does.
seen too.
Mhm.
It's always a no, yay!
Right. He was second in the league in touchdowns. Lamar Jackson had 36.
okay.
That's sad.
He was averaging 319 yards per game. It's sad, but you're right because
Yeah, so I think because of that, I think he'll be there next year.
man, he could be
So
good.
before we get off this topic, me and Mark was having a conversation. If the NFL is still a passing league, because if you look at those stats, the top 5 passers was Winston, Dak,
Snap.
Goff,
Well, what are we talking about? Yards per game.
yards.
Yeah, yards.
Go to
per
yards.
game.
Yards total
And
yards.
none of them were in the playoffs.
Total yards was again Winston,
That's
Dak,
Jared Goff,
Goff,
Philip Rivers.
Philip
Matt
Rivers,
Ryan.
and Matt Ryan. And where are they all at?
On the couch.
Are we still a passing offense?
I believe so, except for maybe Baltimore. I'm like,
That's my thing.
You could just put that and say that these teams were always down or losing, so some of these numbers they had to throw.
yeah. I mean, when you keep throwing pick sixes, 3 or 4 a game, you got to keep throwing.
Yeah. Oh, and y'all know who the number 1 fantasy quarterback was.
Winston.
It was. After Marcus, that first conversation joked me. Well, you different drafted Winston first of the
I was wrong. I admit I was wrong.
But you know what? That joke irritated so bad I dropped that fool. Marcus had him with his bench. I probably would have won the championship had I stuck.
I needed when Mahomes went out. he kept me going when Mahomes went out.
Because fantasy, he's awesome. Because them picks don't hurt you that bad.
Yeah, they don't.
All right, we're gonna get into the wild card weekend. We got first slate of games. You got the AFC
Saturday,
wild
Saturday
card
football.
This is at 4:30,
435.
4:35, not 30, but 35. We got the Buffalo Bills playing the Houston Texans. Marcus, I'll let you start us out. Who you got in this one?
Normally I would straight up pick Houston hands down, but I'm nervous on the Houstons, all because of their coaching. I can't stand Bill O'Brien. I think Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of them could be so great if it wasn't for their sorry coaching. And just the Bills have been hot this year. They both got the same record. They're both 10-6. The Bills are 24th in offense. That's not too good though. But they're 3rd in defense, while the Texans are 28th in defense, which is crazy. And they're both about evenly matched. Buffalo's 8th in rushing, and Houston is 9th in rushing. I should pick the Texans. I hope the Texans win, but something tells me Buffalo's going to win this game. So I'm going Buffalo.
You taking Buffalo?
Yes.
Brian, who you got?
Marcus, I feel the exact way how you're feeling. This game gives you all of these games truly give you a little bit of anxiety, and that's what the playoffs are for. You got the best of the best playing right now. You just really have a hard time predicting them. Vegas is going with the Texans. The Texans are giving up 2.5 in this particular game. It does look bad. It does look like Buffalo is the better team, but Buffalo the last couple games of the season they lost to the Patriots, and then they lost to the Jets. The Texans have won, and then gave up a stinker to the Tennessee because they weren't playing their starters. If the Texans get off to a high start, I think the Texans will win. But if they start off slow, I think Buffalo has a chance to win this game. But I'm going to take the home team. Give me the Texans.
this game, J.J. Watt is playing in this particular game, so they're getting him back.
Sparingly.
I don't know. The run game should improve slightly a bit, but I don't know. I think that
Who's run game? Texans?
They suffered a bit. Texans suffered.
Oh, because Watt wasn't there. Okay,
And they suffered.
I'm sorry.
The Bills Mafia. I got a love for this team for some reason. It dates back way. I'm really telling my age when they had Joe Cribbs and Joe Ferguson and the Bermuda Triangle. Y'all do your research on that. Check that one out. But I'm taking the Buffalo Bills on this one. I think they're gonna be successful. Herman, what you got?
Yeah, I thought this one through a little bit, and I'm going with the Bills. I said I wasn't going to doubt the Bills. I've been saying it earlier in the year. They did kind of limp into the playoffs a little bit, but I mean, in another division, I think if they were in the Texas division, they would have won it.
Probably so. I agree with that.
I'm going to go with the Bills. I just feel like they have their defense is going to hold it in. The Texans, like Marcus, like you say, like you don't know which Texans is going to show up.
Exactly.
And I like Bill O'Brien as a coach, but you just don't know which team is going to show up. J.J. Watt coming back is going to be a shot in the arm for him, but I think it's going to be a little, too little, too late.
Ow!
Move the hat over to Brian. Move the hat over to Brian.
I will not wear it, but you can set it there. You stop looking at my face.
Anyway, go to the next game. We got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Patriots. Herman, who you got next?
So when I saw this game, I said, the Titans got a great running game. Derrick Henry. It's like a freaking linebacker running football. But they're inexperienced. You got Tannehill at quarterback. He's been playing good, but when you look at two teams, I always like to look and see who has the better quarterback, Tannehill versus Brady. And while the Patriots have struggled and they haven't been that hot team, I'm going with the Patriots on this one. It's hard enough to win in Gillette Stadium, to win a road playoff game in Gillette Stadium.
Tell that to the Dolphins.
Huh?
Tell that to the Dolphins.
Well, yeah, I know, but that wasn't a playoff game.
And then the Ravens beat them in the, at home too.
Yeah, not a playoff game. And I said it's hard to win. I didn't say it was impossible. Come on, producer. But anyway, are you picking the Titans? But I'm going with the Patriots. It's the playoffs. Patriots aren't going out in the first round. I would be very shocked.
Marcus?
Any other year, I wouldn't even hesitate with this pick. I'd pick the Patriots. However, this year, and this might come back to bite me in the ass, I think this is the beginning of the end of the dynasty for the Patriots. Tom Brady has looked like garbage this year. They haven't beaten a playoff team this year that they're going to see. They might see. They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Texans. They lost to who else? It was someone else. The Chiefs. I just don't have the faith I used to have in the Patriots, and the Titans. They're looking, if you just go by eye test, just strictly by eye test. Don't look at stats. Don't look at nothing else. To me, the Tennessee Titans look like a much better team, and I just believe that they can go in there and they can beat the Patriots. So I'm picking the Titans. But let me say this: if the Patriots win this game, I'm picking them throughout the rest of the playoffs.
Oh, whatever.
Now look, he had this nice little soliloquy on how good Buffalo was and all this stuff. The Patriots beat the brakes off of Buffalo the last time they played.
Was it the breaks? Was it that bad?
It wasn't the brakes, but they beat them. They beat them.
Okay,
They beat them convincing.
but like I said, eye test. If you look at the eye test, the Patriots.
The eye test. Do you think that the Titans would beat the Bills?
That would be a good game. I don't know.
I agree with you. I like your pick, Mark. The Bible just messed with
I
me.
can't believe you picked against the Patriots. I'm shocked.
God, they look like garbage. I'm going with Titans.
I agree with Herman and Marcus on this one too. playoffs are just a different beast, just a different animal. I think that I did too.
But you said you agree with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't agree with Marcus. I just agree with her.
I mean, so
I agree with both of you guys' points, but I agree with Herman's selection. I'm going with the Patriots again. It's the playoffs, and although I agree with Marcus saying that the Patriots dynasty is probably dying, I just don't see it dying this week. Now next week, ask me again, but this week I think the Patriots pull out this victory. Just real quick. Did y'all see the little thing about Derrick Henry? You know, Derrick Henry won the rushing title, and he was down a few yards, and so his coach was going to take him out. And said, "Look, you got 2 more plays to get this rushing title." The next play is when he bumped that 50-some yarder and crushed the rushing title. And he only needed a few yards, and he crushed it. But I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought that story was kind of fun.
Yeah, this game, man. I mean, I think you see more happens where a running game helps the passing game, and it definitely helps with Tennessee. It's tough to beat the Patriots and Patriots. Marcus, you see this hat? I'm not gonna let you wait alone. I think the biggest matchup in this game is gonna be how well Stephon Gilmore plays against AJ Brown, and AJ Brown has been lighting it up lately. I think that's the key. Whoever wins that matchup will probably win the game. I think the Titans are gonna take him, dude. I really do. They'll take the Titans. Well,
You think he gonna be seeing ghosts? What you saying?
but you're not wearing a hat by yourself there.
I'm shocked that all people picked the Patriots. I'm surprised to pick against the Patriots. Marcus picked against the Patriots.
Yes, he did.
That's
All right, so then we can move on to the Sunday's game. The first game we got is a 1:00 game between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints.
Can I go first?
They playing. Please do. Go ahead, Marcus. Go first.
I only got 2 words for this pick. Kirk Cousins. So that's all I need to say. Okay, Saints all day, every day in New Orleans. Saints. Nothing to be said.
I'll make this easy. I'm taking the Saints too, man. I can't see Minnesota going down in New Orleans and beating them. I'm taking the Saints too. Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Saints, man. That offense, the Saints are on fire.
Didn't Brees throw, what did he throw, 7 touchdowns last Sunday?
Yeah, you can't stop Michael Thomas. And the only thing that's missing right now really is Kamara doing anything real.
But he's played well the last couple of games.
Yeah, lately. So I think it's going to be a good game. But the only way that the Vikings could possibly win this game is ball control. If they can run Dalvin Cook, if he's healthy, he's supposed to play. But if they can control the clock and keep the Saints offense off the field, then I give them a chance. But I'm going with the Saints.
Brian?
I will not be lone wolf in this game. Give me the Saints. The Saints are giving up 7.5 in this game. That's a touchdown and a half. Give me the Saints.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is gonna pick the Vikings.
But you know, they didn't. When the Vikings that beat the Saints, the Miracle.
Mm-hmm. But that was in Minnesota.
That was in Minnesota. Okay, yeah, it was the Minnesota Miracles, right?
and Kirk Cousins was the quarterback at that time.
True. Right, Keenan.
It was Keenan.
Keenan.
It was Keenan.
Yeah.
So he got a contract.
How'd that go for you, Helman?
All right, let's end it up with the last game.
I don't know how did your season end, Brian?
Second place. Nothing wrong with silver.
As we move on, the last game we got is going to be Sunday. The Seattle Seahawks go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
It's gonna be snowing.
Is it really?
That's what they say. Chance of snow.
Okay. Brian, who you got on this?
This game is the only game out of the 4 that has an emotional connection with me. I hate Philadelphia. I want Philadelphia to be destroyed in this game. I want the was once reigning MVP Russell Wilson to light them up. And Vegas feels the same way because Seahawks are are away, and they're giving up 1.5. Now 1.5 ain't much, but still an away team getting the points is a question mark. Give me Seattle.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on this one, Brian. Seattle is down to third string, fourth string players right now.
You mean the Eagles are?
Yeah.
Eagles. I'm sorry. I mean Seattle. I mean Eagles. Eagles. Right. Eagles. I'm gonna take Seattle on this one. I think they beat the Turtles. Marcus, who you got?
Well, I picked the Eagles to win the division. They won it. I wasn't too high on them the season, but they it's crazy because even though they're down to third string and practice squad and they've managed to win 4 games straight. They managed to pull it out. Something they did a couple years ago. They won the Super Bowl when after Carson Wentz went out. Nobody thought they were going to do anything. Nick Foles went in there and got to the championship and actually beat the Patriots.
What
So-
4 teams did they beat?
Huh?
Yeah,
What 4 teams did they
Giants,
beat?
The Cowboys.
Can I finish my
Just
soliloquy?
saying, but I wanted to make sure you
Can you
put that
can you shut up while I finish my
ahead.
soliloquy?
beat the
Pick the Giants
Eagles.
twice.
Yeah, they beat the Giants twice.
Okay,
They really beat nobody.
but still they win.
Go ahead.
But they managed to win 4 games. They needed
It's hard to win 4 NFL games. You're right. Go ahead.
They managed to win 4 games they needed to win. And they're looking a lot like that Super Bowl team. That being said, I'm picking the Seahawks, of course. Why would I ever pick the Eagles?
Herman, take us out of here. What you got?
Yeah, there's no way in hell I would pick the Eagles. I'm picking Seattle. The Eagles are about to get stomped at home. They're like those 4 games they won, they didn't beat nobody. You
And
know
they
what I mean?
barely beat nobody.
Right. And I think Marshawn Lynch will probably put up 150 on them. You're gonna be like, where did this Marshawn Lynch come from? So,
You know what? I think I might buy some Skittles for this Sunday night.
All I want to know is when Marshawn Lynch showed up to the Seahawks facility with all those Skittles in the dang guard truck, who had to clean that? Who had to clean that stuff up? That's the first thing. I'm like, who cleaned that up?
That's the thing I thought too. When he opened that
We're
door,
talking about.
the
You
Skittles
think
started
that's any worse
pouring out.
than Times Square last night?
But I'm just saying, nobody. If nobody was expecting that, I mean, I hate to be the
Oh,
dude.
They have, yeah. They
Who cleaned
have.
out that Suburban?
That's who cleaned out Marshawn? It was all in his pants everywhere. Terrible.
Hey, speaking of Times Square, did you all see Gronk on the
When he
on the-
smashed the Lego joint.
Was Steve Harvey mad or what?
I saw it on Twitter like right before we came on.
Gronk was on there.
What did he do?
Well, they had a Lego bus made of Steve Harvey. So Gronk got on there, and Gronk said, "Hey, I'm coming back out of retirement. I'm gonna play." And Steve Harvey thought he was serious because Steve Harvey said, "Okay, who you gonna pay for? Who you gonna play for?" He said, "No, I'm just coming out with this one night." And he took the head and just touchdown, and he just smashed it like he did the Gronk spike. Man, Steve Harvey's like, this dude, where y'all get this crazy fool from? Y'all get out of here.
He said, "I'm not ever working with him again."
Steve Harvey looked like he was mad. He said, "You know how long it took me to get those brown Legos?" Funny. You gotta look it up. You gotta look it up.
It was Steve Harvey's own. I mean, who made the bus? Why was he so mad?
But it was made out of
I mean, you
Lego.
wouldn't be happy if somebody destroyed a bus that somebody made of your face.
It's a Legos. It's a Legos bus. Was he gonna take it home and put it in his trophy case or something?
Think about it.
That's
It was made for him to look like him, so it was custom made, customized, and it was his bus. He bust that thing up and kicked it. Oh my God, Steve Harvey was so mad.
You got to go on Twitter and find that.
Look it up. All right, Marcus, take us out of here.
Well, we'll see you next week. Same. Well, hold on. Let me before we go. Before we go, I'm gonna encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Whatever, Holly. You'll be fine. Fine him $5. He fine $5. I'm gonna $5. And Holly, give him the Twitter handle.
Our Twitter handle is @DelayOfGame3. Be sure to join us. Watch us. We put notes on there, what we're going to do, where we're going to be. You can also live chat the show.
So we see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Happy 2020.
Happy new decade.